Hey y'all, so I have a confession to make. And I don't think many of y'all are gonna be proud of me when I say this, but I'm a furry. Beastars has been praised for many, many things, to its themes of discrimination, natural instincts versus modern morality, its amazing music from the jazz to the opening, its stellar animation and voice acting, starting the career of Jonah Scott, and the incredibly long Rule 34 page. Yep, all great things. There are plenty of videos just sucking off Beastars from the rants and the analysis, but one thing that's not talked about that much is its themes of being mixed. Season 3 had its theme set in place since Season 1. Season 1's main thing was being about interspecies marriage and interspecies couples. But Season 3 brought up mixed species, or just biracial children. Now, I personally have a interest in Beastars because, well, first, Legoshi is hot, and second, I am mixed. I'm mixed with an Asian mom and a white dad, if anyone's wondering, and just to clarify anything. But before we start, whenever Legoshi talks about how beautiful herbivores are and how amazing they are, it kind of sounds like this.
I start each day by thanking the white man for the sunrise, for the land I walk on, for the air I breathe. I also apologize for niggas, but Lord knows they ain't gonna apologize for themselves. Look at them. White man just a joy to be around. They smell like lemon juice and pledge furniture cleaner. And look at them. They gave us discipline, jobs, put structure in our lives, took us out the jungle. And what we do to show out. See here, I enjoy building small shrines to certain special white people who are important in my life. This one here is dedicated to John Wayne. Great white man. Didn't take no shit from niggers, Indians, nor Mexicans.
Anyways, if you think I'm just reading too much into it, you could call me a dumbass because I don't care, but here's my analysis. When I saw this zebra at the udon restaurant just hating on the news for talking about interspecies marriage and, you know, yada yada yada, the zebra was literally so furious, and he expressed that. The zebra said basically, messed up people getting together to make messed up kids, is basically what the zebra said. This hurt my heart because, well, it happens in real life all the time. The way Yaya and the other characters would say stuff like, interspecies can't married, he's mixed, that abomination, a creature, thing. Honestly, it sounded like they were saying slurs. I felt personally attacked. I'm still debating if this show is progressive or just plain out racist, with Legoshi's mom offing herself because she was a hybrid and Melon having a terrible childhood and adulthood. I think it might lean a little towards racist, but that's because Beastars is all about the negativity, first impressions when meeting someone, and being pessimistic. This is why I like Zootopia. Zootopia is so happy, but being mixed is something that is rarely seen in media, and if it is seen in media, there are villains or outcasted, and I'm so glad it's getting more representation. That way, a child can point to a TV and say something like, hey, that character looks like me. Something like that, I don't know. Obviously, a child shouldn't be watching Beastars or idolizing Melon, but I never really had that. Growing up as a child, I never really saw someone on TV or in movies that was similar to me. So every time someone is like, I need to be represented or else I'm going to have a crash out and boycott this thing. Dude, shut the fuck up. Literally, shut the fuck up. I have had zero representation my whole life for like the race that I am. So when looking for representation, I look for characters with different ideologies, personalities, and backgrounds. We all can't have daddy issues. It will get boring. Hell of a boss. I don't need to say this, but I will. Having a colorful cast is important. Colorful with skin, age, personalities, backgrounds, etc., etc., etc. So when I met Melon on screen, I thought to myself, bro, same. People call me a mutt all the time. Even my own parents. So every time Dio says,
you damn mutt, Todoroki,
I feel seen. JK, mutt and mongrel literally feels like a slur to biracial people. Never use it. I don't 100% agree with Melon, but I understand him. I sympathize with him. He is so lonely and lives a painful life. So let's talk about him. Let's talk about our biracial king, Melon. He's kind of hot, not gonna lie. I'd make a sex drive exist. Disclaimer, I haven't read the manga, just watched the anime, but I did read about his childhood, so spoiler alert. When a hybrid was going to be the main antagonist, I was very intrigued, but then I learned that he was named Melon. At first I thought to myself, what a stupid ass name, until Yaya explained it to Legoshi. A melon is a fruit, but doesn't grow on a tree like a regular fruit. But if Yaya had any brain cells and did a little Google search, he would have known that melons are fruits. They grow on vines. Fucking dumbass. However, my Google search led me to learn that some melons are classified as vegetables. So yeah, it's literally the tomato fruit thingy-mabobber with tomatoes. So technically, his metaphor was kind of right. Melon is literally not a fruit nor a vegetable. Everyone wants the fruit melon, and to get to that fruit, you must discard the leaves, the melon leaves, the same leaves that Melon uses to cover up his leopard spots. While leaves are supposed to be thrown away, he still uses them to cover up his spots. This made me think to myself, how the hell do tattoos work? Like are they tattooing the fur? Can't you rustle around the fur and that just makes the image weird? Anyways, but if he's getting a tattoo to cover up his spots, then why not, clip his nails, remove his fangs, do facial surgery so his face looks more like a gazelle? Dentures exist in the world. The mayor said that he has surgery and dentures, but whatever. That doesn't matter. None of that matters, because no matter how much someone wants to cover up something or discard of it, it's in their blood. Melon, it's in his soul. It's in Melon's soul. It is engraved in his soul that he lives a life of loneliness and that he is, mixed. He is a hybrid. He can understand other people's emotions because he is a therapist and a professor at Haru's university, which was a huge plot twist. I did not see that coming. But anyways, he is a therapist and he understands other people's emotions. However, no one can understand his emotions. Thanks to his mixed blood, he doesn't have a proper appetite nor a sex drive. This scene when he is eating an octopus outside in a playground while there is a restaurant full of people. He is literally and metaphorically an outsider. But most importantly, it's a children's playground. A childhood is something he never really had. His leopard mom scared his gazelle father away, leaving her to be a single mom and having horrible fantasies about eating Melon. And when I mean eating Melon, I mean literally eating him, cannibalistic, a meal, nom nom nom. That's why he is named Melon. She's not thinking about her son. She's thinking about the sweet, sweet melon fruits to snack on. Reading some of these pages with his mom, yes, I did spoil on myself. They're really disturbing. There's an obvious grooming undertones to it. Those boy moms? Yeah, that's what it's giving. Weirdly obsessed with their sons because the husband or the father is absent. Borderline incest. And as someone who's from Alabama, I'm not a fan of it. But because that is what grooming is, okay? She is grooming Melon into becoming her next meal, her next snack. Eventually, Melon does kill his mom, runs away, and then kills a group of kids that would bully him. Or at least that's what Google said to me. Oh no, I didn't read the manga. This whole killing spree that he does as a young child literally leads him into thirsting for blood, literally. The only time he feels alive is when he is giving or receiving pain. Since childhood, that's all he's known. So yes, that tattoo scene, very important to the plot. Melon's own mom tells him that he is an outsider and he doesn't belong. He was raised that way to think he's an outsider by his mom. And he tries to reject that. But no matter how many times he wants to resent his mom, she's right. Society does reject Melon. And that's why he's quote-unquote evil. Evil being an objective thing, because I think Melon isn't evil. Obviously, terrorism and killing people is evil, but as someone who lives in the best state that has zero historical problems, I would face this literally every single day. People would always come up to me and ask, what are you doing? What are you eating? Bitch, I'm eating chicken adobo with rice. It is fucking delicious. And if you haven't tried that, you're missing out. Okay, leave me alone. Even when I'm cooking Asian food, my white dad would come up to me and say, that looks disgusting. Thanks, Dad. I don't have feelings, okay? So whatever. Food is very important thing in every single culture, and it is different in every single culture. Duh, no shit. Eating a meal is the time of day where someone can gather and after a long day and just reflect and relax. Yet, Melon has never experienced that. First, he wouldn't know what to eat since he doesn't have an appetite. And second, he doesn't have a family or friends. Fucking loser. That is why he was alone in the playground eating the octopus. And another reason why he slightly enjoys eating with the lions. Also, did you know that when I was going to grade school in Alabama, I could only select one race on my ethnicity chart? And they would always ask me to put my mother's race on the chart. When I asked why, they told me it was a historical thing. This historical thing, I'm doing air quotes, this historical thing dates back to, guess what? Slavery. When the male slave masters would SA female slaves, the children could never claim being half white. If the child did claim to be half white, the rights to the plantation or business would be given. Instead, they are forced to claim the race of the mother, forcing another worker. Do you see where that's like a little problem, Alabama? Anyways, something for a Melon, yet that he is forcing only one species to be noticed, gazelle, to be noticed. I know this was a random side yapping, but I just think it's very interesting, and I think more people should know that. So if you think Alabama is really racist, then you're absolutely correct. We're still heavily racist. Anyways, the way Melon moves is like no other character. He moves gracefully like a gazelle and is agile like a leopard. Oh my god, it's like that's what he's mixed with. But his movements are definitely how he expresses himself. He was definitely a theater kid or has a passion for Broadway. You can't convince me otherwise. The way he mocks people, bends his neck and hands and torso perfectly shows how to do. Crazy. Some of these scenes almost reminded me of Jinx in the way her body language is, while Legoshi is literally the complete opposite, being calm and cool. Both outcasted, but one can accept their mixed blood, while the others can't. Legoshi saying that his mom's scales are beautiful, showing how he accepts all sides of her. And the saddest part is that if Legoshi just turned around that night, he would have saved his mom from, offing herself. Melon wears a literal and metaphorical mask. The mask he wears daily is to hide his fangs, and maybe even from surveillance, but mostly to hide his fangs. And his face in general. When Legoshi sees Melon rips off his mask, we are given very, very disturbing sound effects of blood gushing, flesh and bones being crushed. It almost sounded like an alien being hatched. This 20-second clip literally gives me chills because it's just so disturbing. And then finally, he's showing his true self to someone who is like him, someone who is also a hybrid. When Legoshi starts asking about his family to... When Legoshi starts talking about his family to Melon, Legoshi asks himself, why am I being so open to a stranger? Well, Legoshi, that's because you found someone who is like you. A sense of community.
Ain't it funny how a carnivore can wear a mask with horns and pretend to be an herbivore? But herbivores who are born with them don't get to remove them. Pretty unfair rule, wouldn't you say?
Now, this quote stumped me at first, until I turned on the subtitles and read it. What bro's basically saying is that all carnivores have their desire of eating meat, but instead take meds or eat a herbivore diet to fit in. However, at this party, or at the black market, or back alley market, however you want to call it, carnivores are free at that market to take off their mask, take off their horns, take off their herbivore side, and be a free carnivore. But Melon is the only herbivore who can't take off his mask. The only carnivore who can't take off his mask. He can't put his horns off and on. He can't take his fangs off and on. He can't wear a mask of a carnivore nor of a herbivore. So when he was in the black market, that guy who smelled him and realized he is not a carnivore, yeah, literally explains everything. Yet Melon kills the guy before he snitches, which is a good thing because I hated that little anteater looking ass. He was so fucking ugly. Anyways, I have innocent or he did nothing wrong in the title or thumbnail. IDK, I'm still debating what thumbnail to use, but I have that phrase in there for a reason. He kind of is. He is kind of innocent. Obviously, killing people and terrorism is wrong, but he is a victim since birth. He didn't ask to be like that, nor did he want to be like that. Melon truly lives a life of loneliness, being an outcast and a freak. To cope, he receives or inflicts pain. He uses leaves that are meant to be thrown away to hide his leper spots, the same leaves and the same name that he was given by his mother, who he resents so much. He uses a mask to hide himself, both his physical appearance and his psychological appearance. Melon was born of mixed blood, and that clearly has a grand effect on him, causing him to be an outsider. And I completely understand him. To gazelle for the carnivores. To leopard for the herbivores. To white for the Asian kids, and to Asian for the white kids. For a country that parades and strives for inclusivity, for being united, we sure do know how to make boxes for people, and we sure do know how to keep people in those boxes. What the was that ending? Oh my god, I guess I'm gonna have to go read the manga, because what do you mean? Legoshi literally gets pushed off a bridge, or I mean, he literally gets pushed off a cliff, gets shot in the ear, and he gets pushed off a cliff, and then he's gonna like drown or something like that. Like, what do you mean that's the ending? And fuck you, Haru, because she's like, oh my god, I should go totally break up with Legoshi because he's not responding to my text messages. What do you mean you're gonna break up with Legoshi because he's not responding to your text message? I'm sorry, he's fucking drowning, okay? What's wrong if he doesn't respond in like a day, okay? Literally, honey, calm down. I fucking hate Haru so goddamn much, and I literally understand her whole entire character, how she's like, oh, I only feel like I'm used as a person when I'm like having sex. Bitch, you're just a whore. I understand her completely with her whole people think I'm supposed to die soon because I'm so tiny and weak and helpless, and I only feel like an actual human being when I'm having sex. I totally understand that. However, I think she's just a fucking bitch. Also, what the fuck was that ending? And I'm gonna have to go read the manga, because Netflix, you better hurry up, okay? Because I ain't waiting that long, okay? I ain't spending all the money on the manga, so Netflix, hurry your ass up.